What's up, guys? Got a couple of bumpers here that are raw plastic. I got some 265 plastic scuff paste by Axalta, and I'm gonna show you how to prep these bumpers from beginning to end and get them ready for the paint booth. Alrighty, besides the scuff paste, you'll need a couple of other things. This is just straight water, and this is gray Scotch Brite. The Scotch Brite is to remove the mold release. When these bumpers are made, they're set in a mold and the plastic is poured, obviously, and there's a mold release chemical that is sprayed on these bumpers to pop it up out that mold, and that chemical is still normally on these bumpers, so if you paint straight over these plastic raw bumpers, the paint will just fall off. So that's what the Scotch Brite is for. Water is to make the Scotch Brite less aggressive, and this is just to make sure it is extra thoroughly clean. And also, you do not need a glove. I have a cut on my finger, so I just have a glove on. You can do this outside with the water hose, but right now it is 34 degrees and we're not going outside, so I'll get the bumper wet, and then I like to spray this and get this wet as well. You want to keep this bumper wet the whole time. You really don't want to let this scuff paste dry, because then it becomes like more of a hassle to clean. It's already kind of a hassle to clean as it is. If you don't have scuff paste at home, soapy water with a Scotch Brite will work just fine as well. So you might not see this on camera. You might can, I don't know. Either way, got this nice and soaking wet. You feel me? Just how I like them. Give this a nice shake because it does like to separate. I give it a decent glob. Gotta do 2 bumpers. I'll mash it in together because we'll probably switch sides when we do this. And then you can just get to scuffing. And just make sure you hit every spot really well. Because like I said, you do not want that release on there, that mold release, because your paint will peel. So if you were doing this outside, you can go ahead and just use the water hose to rinse as you went. So I'm gonna do half this and rinse it off. And then we'll do the other half. So we'll grab our water. And you don't necessarily have to rinse it completely off. You just want to keep it wet and make sure it doesn't dry. Give you a little bit more time to do the next side. On to the next. Re-wet everything and keep everything really wet. We're gonna flip our Scotch Brite to the other side where we have that scuff paste. We're gonna get her done. I want to say thank you to everybody that likes my videos and comments. I'm so grateful for all of it. We're not a rock star or a superstar, but a guy like me don't need much. All right, now this bumper's done. Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and wet this other side. And now we can wipe it off. This is like the only thing I use paper towels for, is just for junk stuff like this, just to wipe off like the majority of it and throw it away, or to clean up my paint spills, my paint cups. Because once I'm done with this, I'll grab my microfiber rag and just use glass cleaner. And now I got this and glass cleaner. Bam. Alrighty, we got everything in the booth all ready to go. We'll just need to hit it with some waterborne cleaner first. I like to get one rag really wet and then leave the other one dry. If you could spray this with waterborne cleaner itself, but I tend to accidentally leave like puddles of waterborne in there. So then when I'm painting, that comes out and contaminates my paint. So it's much easier for me just to spray a rag and then wipe it, one wet and one dry. So like I said, I'll get this nice and wet. I'll slap it on like that and just get to wiping. I like these microfiber rags over any type of paper towels because these are actually lint free, and those paper towels normally aren't very lint free. If you've never used microfiber rags before, you should, and watch the difference in your work. It'll be a lot cleaner. So we'll go wet and then we'll grab the dry one and then we'll wipe it off until we don't see it anymore. You don't want to really let this evaporate on there if you can help it. You want to make sure you clean your project really well because you can only clean it so many times before you paint it, and you cannot clean it anymore after you paint it. So you can polish it, but in all reality, you're just flattening the dirt and it's still there. So you don't want it in there if possible. And of course, we're human, so we're not perfect. We make mistakes, but every day we do strive to get a lot better. And that's our goal. If it does evaporate on there, that is okay. Still kind of want to go back and just give it a quick wipe. Make sure there's no extra residue. Next, I really like using these Santara static control wipes. You can use these for multiple jobs, and I often like saving them. I just like putting them back in the package, and then I'll tape the package up and then just save it for later jobs. Once this is completely dehydrated, you can kind of go ahead and toss it, but it'll come with a lot of product on it. And this is just like an anti-static solution. So I'll bring most of it back in there just to save it again, for, like I said, for later jobs. I just opened this up a little bit. And now the thing with this is when you go to wipe this, you only can wipe it one way. For instance, if I'm wiping from left to right, I only can wipe this whole product from left to right. You don't want to go back and forth because that's how you create static. Doesn't have to be perfect because this is not the actual cleaner. We've already cleaned it. Like I said, we just would like it to be less staticky because these plastic parts are known to be staticky. And if there's any type of dust, lint, debris, any dirt, anything in the air, the static is going to draw it straight to it. And we do not want that. So we make sure we wipe this down extra well. I know you see me on this piece go back the other way, but you can as long as you don't go back and forth in one direction. So I can easily go this way as well. But like I said, again, if you understand it, you just don't want to take this and go back and forth like this. You want to keep it going in the same direction if possible. All right, next we got a tack rag. And this is just gonna get off any extra dust that we missed. Want to make sure you hit every nook and cranny really well. You don't want to press too hard. And this is a beige crystal tack rag. That's the name of these tack rags, is a crystal tack rag. And the color of it is beige, obviously, well it was. All right, then after that, we're gonna go with the anti-stat gun. This is gonna remove any static that the tack rag made. helpful trick, always do the back sides of your project as well. It'll keep your project cleaner. All right, and lastly for prep, just need a little adhesion promoter. We're using an Axalta 300. Then I'm gonna be using my 1500B. It really doesn't matter which gun you use, you just want a nice, thin, even, uniform coat. One of my favorite things about this adhesion promoter is that it has small little metallic flakes in it, and you can easily see wherever you've already applied the adhesion promoter to the panel. Alrighty, from this point here, it's pretty much ready for paint, so we'll do sealer, base, and clear coat. Then I'll show you those steps as well. I appreciate you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.